what is a food that's actually really harming our kids' gut, but we're not aware of it?
Oh, it's all the packaged foods with the sugars in it. And what's happening is now there's this whole marketing of no refined sugar. So we all get excited. We buy that pancake mix and we make it for our kids. No refined sugar. It's perfect. And we're feeding our kids these pancakes. But what we're not realizing is just because it's no refined sugar, it's still sugar. So you're feeding your child 16 grams of sugar, even though it's jaggery, even though it's coconut sugar,
It's
it's
still sugar.
harming them. But I've seen so many parents do that. And then their kids are hyper and angry the whole day, and they're just in major tantrums and they're not able to link it. So you have to look at the back and you have to look at added sugars. I don't care if it says no refined sugar. That is not okay or convincing for us parents. But the thing is, see, I'm a nutritionist, so I'll sit and look and do all of that. But for parents, we don't, right? We get convinced by this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. If you had to name like the 5 most unhealthy things
Mm.
for children to eat, what would they be?
Number one would be sodas. Number two would be, I would say, candies because it's pure sugar. Number three would be chips because of the sodium content and the inflammatory oils as well. I would say the other thing would be all these processed meats. So, all our chicken nuggets and the Happy Meals and the fries and all this fast food. And the fifth thing I would say is like the fried food we eat at home as well. So those are
Why is fried so bad for you?
so the reason that fried is so bad is because of the way we're cooking it and the oils we are using.
Okay.
So what's happening is when you're cooking the fries and the samosas and all of that and you're eating it, there's a lot of inflammation because the oils that are being used, they are heated at such high levels that when they break down in the body actually gets into fight or flight mode. And that's when it triggers the gut, it triggers inflammation, and that's really, really harmful in the long term.
Coming back to sugar, is chocolate really bad for kids?
So, and it was so funny because that day my son's like, "Oh, I'm going to choose ice cream over candy because at least the ice cream, there's some dairy, right? So there's some protein."
Oh, wow.
And I was like, "You're
He did that
right."
math really well.
Yeah, yeah. So he's good at math, and he will actually check with me like the back of the labels and be like, "Oh, four
Wow.
grams of protein. This is good." So chocolate is bad because it's not great because they put too much excess added sugar, like literally white sugar. They're using cocoa instead of cacao. So cocoa is so processed. End of the day, a packaged food is a packaged food. It's gone through a process. So when your body's having it, it's like, what is this thing? It's not supporting my body. It is hurting my body. So no, chocolates are not great. My kids eat it.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
kids eat it, but it's not
Yeah, yeah,
great.
yeah, yeah. How do you add more iron to a kid's diet?
Iron is a big thing because so many kids are low on iron these days.
Yes, yes.
And even us adults, so many
Yeah.
of us. So the thing is they need a lot of iron, but the problem is a lot of us are vegetarian and a lot of our kids are vegetarian. So even if you're giving your child a half cup of dal, they're only absorbing maybe 10% of the iron in it. So how to get more iron in? Number one, make sure there's 2 sources of iron in every meal. So
Okay.
for example, you're giving dal and rice for lunch. Okay? Add some spinach, add some beetroot, sprinkle some nuts and seeds on the rice because it will just help get more in. Or if you're giving oats, right? Just add some peanut butter in there. That's going to help. The second thing is always pair it with vitamin C. So if you're giving oats, give a strawberry because studies
But
show.
this is too much. Like, who has the time for this? Honestly. I mean, you have it in the beginning,
You
but
get
then,
excited and
you
you're
know,
like, I'm
yeah,
going to
you know, after a point of time, like when your child is like 2, 3 years old, you're like,
just
you're
get it done.
eating. I'm elated that you're eating the food. At that point, to throw in a nut or a seed, which he might reject the entire meal for, is so tricky.
I get it, but I actually feel that it's
So
not.
I'm so sorry. I'm just being devil's
I know.
advocate because I feel like I'm standing for like
No,
the
you,
mom
no,
community.
100% you should because, but the fact is, cashew, like if you take cashew powders, they're
Yeah.
white.
Yeah, so
Just
powder it. I mean, that's a great one.
100%. That's what I
Yeah.
mean. Like powder it,
Okay.
add it in the dal. They're not going to know it's there.
So hidden stuff is.
Yeah. So see, a lot of people will say, don't hide it. Oh my God, you're going to scar them. I'm like, look, we're parents. We got to get through this day. Powder it, put it in, and let your child have it. So whatever foods your kids like, see how you can make it a bit better. So if your child is only eating oats every day,
That's such a good hack, by the way.
if they only want to eat oats every day, how can I make it better? Okay, instead of, okay, one day I'll add some cashew powder. One day I'll add, pistas, or like do the same color or use a different oil. Just these small changes will help them get different nutrition.
So my kid loves a plain paratha. How would I make that better?
Okay, so number one, add cashews because they're white.
Okay.
Okay, so that's going to help. Number two, you can try and cook it with a different oil. Now, of course, it'll have a different taste, but you can try it, see
Yeah.
how they do it. But these simple, small changes can really help. And with the paratha next to it, put a different vegetable. Now, suppose they don't love it. It's very important to eat with them, to make it fun. Put that broccoli there and say, let's make it like a tree, or let's roll the broccoli in the paratha. So the fact is we just expect our kids to down food and eat, eat, eat. But what if we got them to feel safe around it without their other senses? It's tiring. We don't have time for it.
Yeah, we got to do it.
But you have to do it. Who else is going to do it?
And what are coming back to iron, what are some of the best sources of iron?
You have your lentils.
Okay.
You have your beans, you have your nuts, you have your seeds. If you're non-veg, you have egg, you have all your meats.
Is pomegranate a good one?
Not really.
Oh, is that a...
It's not.
Wow, I've fallen for this.
See, the thing is, like, even all these veggies like broccoli, spinach, all of them, the issue with these is the amount you actually get is
Yeah.
very low. So it's nice to pair it with something else, but just on its own, it won't do as much.
Interesting, very interesting.
Yeah.
Are there any signs that your baby or toddler is not getting as much nutrition as they need to?
Yeah, there are. So if your child hasn't gained weight in the last 4 or 5 months, so post 1 year of age, they do slow down with their weight gain. But if they haven't gained weight, they are suddenly craving a lot of crunchy stuff all the time. They have cold hands and feet. They are bruising easily. They are tired all the time. They're looking a bit pale. That could be low iron. If they're not sleeping easily, so a lot of kids will be up the whole day, even at night, they won't fall asleep easy. It could be low vitamin D. If your child is refusing to
That's
touch
my
food,
kid. I need to make a note of
yes,
that.
vitamin D is one supplement I recommend all toddlers take.
But he takes it every day.
Oh, he does take
Yeah.
it. So maybe he's just not absorbing it well. So maybe it could be related to gut health. Maybe it's not the right dosage. And if your child is having any sensory issues, like they don't want to touch food, they don't want to chew, they're spitting out food, it could be low zinc.
Interesting.
So that's what, as soon as we're like, oh, my kid doesn't want to eat, but it could be some of these underlying nutritional deficiencies.
Yeah.
And it is okay to supplement them for a bit till
Yeah,
they
yeah,
actually
yeah.
feel like they can eat again.
Of course. And what about supplements, right? Like coming to exactly what you're saying, but what about what supplements are important for kids at what age?
Yeah. So in the first year of life, vitamin D is very important. So if you're breastfeeding, you must give vitamin D. Formula depends. Once you're giving less than 30 ounces, you should supplement with vitamin D. Post 1 year, and then also before one, some doctors recommend iron because honestly, babies need a lot of iron. They need 11 mg a day. So iron is something you definitely need to check with your doctor. Post one, based on your child's diet, because the reality is some of our kids are not eating. So
Yeah.
it's very important to give them supplements and it's okay. So I would recommend iron, vitamin D. Those are the most important ones to look at. And then if your child has other concerns, then you can look into zinc. But the one supplement that so many kids are taking that they really don't need is your multivitamins. These multivitamins are all these different vitamins, right? But if your child is at least eating some fruits and some veggies, they're most likely getting
all of it.
enough. So I'd rather you focus on the specific mineral that they're low on than just giving them a whole bunch of it.
What about probiotics? Do kids need to take that?
Nope, they do not need to take probiotics. unless you can see some digestion issues. If you have a child that has constipation, that has diarrhea, that is farting a lot, then you know that their gut is struggling and they need some support. But it's so important to let the gut develop on its own and focus on foods. You don't need to give them a probiotic supplement unless they're really struggling with digesting things.
What are some ways? I mean, the thing is that as adults, I think most of us, like me, people around me, everyone is having so many gut issues.
Mm,
But what are things we can do in their childhood that could probably prevent this?
yeah.
A
So,
healthier gut.
yeah. So, before we get into food, few simple things you can do. Number one, studies are showing movement is actually promoting gut health. So, luckily, our kids are always moving.
Yeah.
So, but also, our kids are living more of a sedentary lifestyle. So, make sure your kid is getting at least 1 hour of outside play every day. Number two, a vitamin D supplement also really helps with gut health. Number three is sleep. So many of our kids are sleeping now at 11, 12 at night, waking up at 7 to go to school. When we sleep, our body restores itself. So don't take it lightly. So many babies are up all day
Yeah.
and they're not napping. So speak to someone to work on that. In terms of food, it's more about giving a bit of variety. I don't need your kid to eat bowls of vegetables. Even if they have a bite of a mango, a bite of a strawberry, what's happening is the fibers in the different fruits and veggies is feeding the different.
Microbiome.
Yeah. So it's more about variety than quantity.
Okay.
So definitely focus on different fiber. And luckily, the Indian diet has a lot of probiotics with your idlis, your dosas, your
Yeah.
yogurt, rice kanji, all these different things that are kind of bland. So our
Yeah.
kids will accept it. So
Yeah,
these
yeah,
are
yeah.
things.
And their kids love dosa.
Yeah,
This is
right?
like their, kind
Yeah,
of
so
go-to
that
thing.
like just adding that as well and just trying to avoid those packaged foods, those added sugars, the artificial sweeteners are really important. So many of these lollipops and all are coming out, no sugar. And it's quite disturbing. I get very upset when I see those things. Even I fell for it. And I was like, oh, no sugar. And I started giving my kids. And then someone pointed it out for me. And I was like, I can't believe it.
But what's there? What's in it?
Aspartame, stevia, sucralose, all these names that as parents, we don't make that connection and we give our kids. And see, they have one, the kids are not going to have one, two little gummies, right? They'll have a lot. And what affects gut health is the quantity. And over time, that's what's going to happen. It's going to affect their gut health.
So what are these things that you name? Sucralose and stuff.
They're artificial sweeteners.
Oh.
Yeah, like stevia and all that
Yeah,
we'd
yeah, yeah,
add.
of course.
So as
Yeah, so it's
adults
all in
now,
there.
yeah, so now they're adding it in kids' packaged foods to help parents to
Yeah.
convince parents to give it to their child.